The game wouldn't tell me it's a cut-out invitation if it didn't want me to cut it out of the magazine. Why am I showing it to the statue? Show it to him. Here you go. This month's Strange Eons magazine, with the corresponding invitation. Perfect. Oh, okay. I don't need to cut it out then. All right. I suppose you're aware that the invitation comes with the magazine is for one person only. Oh, wow. But you are readers of the magazine, right? Of course we are. We buy it every month. 50-50, you know. These are tough times. Absolutely. You can come in. Enjoy the evening. That was easier than I thought. Reports on victims of spontaneous human combustion indicate that most were chronic alcoholics. Such figures have led some to suppose that residual alcohol in the body acts as an igniting agent. However, as in many documented instances, Mrs. Violet Ashford was a teetotaler. Therefore, we can rule out this theory and treat those data points as mere coincidence. Well, we can't take a seat. In fact, it looks like Philip's the only... Oh, no, we can look at the screen. I was going to say Philip's the only thing we can interact with. The condition of that leg is very similar to the condition of our victim's hand, isn't it? It certainly is. I must caution you. The final slide is decidedly distressing. If anyone feels it might offend their sensibilities, do step downstairs. My colleague Professor Taylor will summon you once it is passed. No one? Good. Cut. Mr. Reginald Grayson. The fire affected only his head. The rest of the body remained intact. Sort of like the first victim. I've styled this uncommon manifestation localized spontaneous human combustion. Why should the conflagration confine itself to a single part and not progress beyond it? Might the phenomenon possess some sort of consciousness? You'll find the answers to these questions in Chapter 8 of my book, providing, of course, data with the utmost scientific rigor. Lights, if you please. Shall we take 5 minutes and then proceed to the signing? A pity you arrived at the end. You'll have missed the substance of it. It's a shame, yes. Detective Foster and Detective Whitman. Arkham PD. Have I landed myself in some trouble, detectives? I don't know. Do you pay your taxes? Yes, of course. Have you killed anyone lately? Good heavens, no! Then you have nothing to worry about. We need your advice on a case. What we are going to show you is strictly confidential. If you disclose this information, you'll be committing a crime. Do not worry, I am quite familiar with the protocol. It is by no means my first collaboration with the police. What do you need? Take a look at this. Pray, let me see. This hand was found at a crime scene. There was no trace of any fuel that could have started the fire, which leads us to believe it was spontaneous human combustion. It could very well be such a case, beyond doubt. Yet one detail gives me pause. Observe the wrist. Ordinarily, remains do not present in this fashion. Here the cut is unnaturally clean, as if severed with a hot blade. Do you have a photograph of the charred remains? Yes. I admit that this photograph is a bit disconcerting. There was barely enough ash on the floor to show that an entire body had been burned. This burnt area on the wall is the only thing that... Good Lord! What's going on? These are not the residues of a fire. They are the signature of a portal. I beg your pardon? A gateway through space and time. Witches commonly employ it to traverse between 2 points in an instant. Upon closure, it leaves a scorched silhouette of its shape. That is what we are seeing in the photograph. Wait a minute. Witches? The sort with the pointy hats and flying brooms? They are highly educated and intelligent women, well versed in the darkest arts, and far more dangerous than any fairy tale stereotype. Do you know why? Because they are real. Witches. I reckon we're in over our heads on this one, Harvey. Everything rather falls into place. If only a hand was found at the crime scene, the subject must have crossed as the portal collapsed. He didn't have time for his entire body to follow through. These portals can only be generated by witches? That is the prevailing view. There is no reliable record of a warlock raising one. The hand I found belongs to a man. That means that a witch opened that portal, and the one we thought was a second victim is actually the murderer of the first one. It was impossible to determine his identity from his fingerprints. There's no record of him. We don't have him in our files. Now we have two killers, a one-handed man and a witch. Portals are unconstrained by time but limited in space. According to Joseph Kerwin's manuscripts, the portals have a range of 25 miles. Thus, the origin point lies somewhere between Arkham, Salem, and Kingsport. All indications point to the presence of witches in Arkham, so your radius of investigation should be confined to this city. Find her, and you may yet apprehend them both. Where can we find not just a witch, but that witch? My own knowledge here is, alas, limited. However, there is someone in this very room who can tell you more. With your permission, I'll be right back. Kurt? I'm drinking, what? Yes? You won't believe this. Witches. What are we getting into, Harvey? Detectives. May I present my colleague, Kurt Taylor? He's been assisting with this evening's presentation. A pleasure. He's a history professor at Amherst and a specialist in the colonial era. He has written several volumes on the witch hunts in colonial Massachusetts. I dare say his expertise will be of considerable use. I shall leave you in his capable hands. I must attend to my guests. So, you've stumbled upon a portal, right? And you're on the trail of a witch. That's right. Well, I have good news and bad news. The good news is the suspect pool is down to 3. And they're here in Arkham. There's no record of any other witches in existence today. And the bad news? You'll have to be extremely careful if you encounter them. Don't underestimate them. They're very dangerous. They're masters of the dark arts. They can twist reality, deceive your senses, and in the worst cases, cast deadly spells. These witches. Tell us about them. Have you ever heard of the Salem witch trials? It was a Puritan frenzy that happened 3 centuries ago, between 1692 and 1693 to be precise. More than 100 women were accused of practicing black magic. About 20 were executed, and several died under torture during the trials. All of them falsely accused. They were just women who lived on the margins of the community's strict religious conduct. All of them were accused simply for being victims of personal conflicts or collective hysteria, with 3 exceptions. Keziah Mason, Mary Warren, and Abigail Revell, all of Arkham. They were accused of kidnapping children, witchcraft, the death of several villagers, and signing the Book of Azathoth with blood. In their confessions under torture, all 3 testified before Judge Hathorne, or Hathorne, to a strange story involving complex lines and curves. These geometric shapes, properly traced, created a portal that could take them through space and time. The 3 women were confined in individual cells awaiting burning at the stake. On the day of the execution, the authorities were astonished to find that the 3 cells were empty. In their place was only an elongated burn mark on the wall, exactly like the one you discovered, Jack. They were never found. They disappeared from the face of the earth. However, there are indications that the witches traveled through time to our era. I've had other things to do this past year that have kept me from looking into this thoroughly, but I can assure you that all 3 are in this city. Wait a minute, buddy. Are you saying our suspects are 3 witches who time-traveled more than 200 years to get here? I know it's hard to take in, but I buy it. How about you, Harvey? I'm open-minded. Tell us about Keziah Mason. A student named Walter... Why, I changed his accent. A student named Walter Gilman disappeared without a trace a couple of months ago. He told anyone who would listen that Keziah Mason appeared every night at the foot of his bed. These statements could be taken as a simple delusion, but the fact that Gilman lived in the same room where Keziah Mason had lived hundreds of years before, the fact is that he lived there. And his account of the witch entering and leaving that room matches a portal. Where can we find this place? At 100 High Street. It's a boarding house. I can could have sworn I read about 100 High Street somewhere else. Walter Gilman, missing, age 24, originally from Haverhill. Last seen at his home at 100 High Street, Arkham. Anyway, tell us about Mary Warren. Some information has come to my attention that she's part of a cult, the New Kingdom Walkers. Unfortunately, I don't know their location. The New Kingdom Walkers? A couple of years ago, when they were operating in Kingsport, I was undercover in that cult. I often see one of their members hanging around Hoffman Street. That's why I assumed they'd moved here. Hoffman Street, huh? Let's start looking for Mary Warren over there. And how about Abigail Revell? I assume you're aware of the Arkham Central Bank robbery that occurred a few months ago. Yes, some of us didn't get paid that month. They claimed that part of the payroll money was stolen. They still owe us for that month. Consider it lost, buddy. The money was deposited in one of the vaults. It wasn't forced. They didn't even find a hole dug from the outside into it. What they did find were the remains of a fire in one of the walls, but they didn't think much of it. I guess you know what we're talking about. They arrested a grave robber named St. John, who used to brag that he'd found a way to rob a bank without any problems. Yes, I know it looks like it says St. John, but that's like a first name, and it's pronounced St. John apparently. He was released due to lack of evidence, unless of course that's his last name, St. John. I investigated this character and found out he had an accomplice. A small-time psychic who calls herself Madame Lavinia. Some sources assured me her real name is Abigail. Abigail Revell. Where can we find her? She has an office in an alley between Wayland and Olmsted. Okay. So we got the location of 3 witches. Yep. What's his name? Harvey wrote him down. Check his notes, which are technically my notes because he's using my notebook whenever I want. Cool. Oh, good. I got the notebook back. We greatly appreciate your help, Mr. Taylor. And you too, Mr. Moore. I think it's time to go hunt some witches. Which of the 3 witches should we investigate first, Jack? So the bookstore's gone. And so is the park. We've got Hoffman Street, Keziah Mason's house, and Abigail Revell. I guess let's just take them clockwise. Start with Abigail Revell. Madame Lavinia, also known as Abigail Revell. A witch out of her own time and a bank robber on the side. Let's see if she's home. First off, let's look around. Got a creeper vine, a gutter, a poster. Can we peek in the windows? There's light inside. The witch is at home. What's on the poster? Strength, purity, and performance. Choose Victory Oil. Alright then. Anything we can do with the creeper vine? This alley's humid as hell. No wonder this kind of plant thrives here. Take a cutting of it, maybe? Nope. Alright. At least not with the, thingy. The letter opener. Alright, here we go. Madame Lavinia? Can you imagine her asking who's calling? Some fortune teller, huh? I've always wanted to say that. Abigail Revell, Arkham Police. Oh, shit. Why'd you tell her we're police? Leave it to me. It's locked. I think we should get a warrant. A warrant? Seriously? There's your warrant. Ah. Damn it. What the fuck is this? Looks like a magic barrier. So the witch is playing hardball, huh? Well, just shoot the magic barrier. That'll be fine. Actually, didn't expect him to actually do it. Worth a shot. Burn the witch! Well, damn. Harvey's notebook. It is not his notebook, it was yours. It was in his pocket, you gave it to him, said you can carry it and make the notes. Alright, fine. He's written down the names of the 3 suspected witches and some other clues to find them. Keziah Mason, a certain Walter Gilman, claimed the witch appeared at 100 High Street. Mary Warren has the connections to the cult named the Walkers of the New Kingdom. Abigail Ravel runs a fortune-telling office in an alley between Wayland and Olmsted, and is currently blocked us off. Know any good warding spells? Alright, well, I guess she's blocked off for the moment. Try Hoffman Street. So, you've been undercover in a cult. In several of them. I hear it's easy to get in, hell to get out. Did you have any problems leaving? No, none at all. The Walkers of the New Kingdom are a harmless cult. They're devoted body and soul to worshipping nature. I just didn't show up one day. By the way, that's the guy we're looking for. His name is Lawrence. Never mind that, can I pet the dog? Come all to Father Iwanicki's church. You poor misguided souls will be saved. All we want is work. We can pray any time of the day. So shut the fuck up. Looks like he got tired of hugging trees and now has other interests. Let's talk to him. In the pages of the Bible you'll find the truth. You're cops, right? Is it that obvious? We may be poor around here, but we're not stupid. You here to haul off that religious fanatic? No. Take him away. He's pushing his luck. Yeah, we'll try talking to him. Hi, Lawrence. Brother Harvey. Just Harvey. Or rather, Detective Harvey. You're a cop? I already was when I was with the Walkers of the New Kingdom. Oh. You were undercover, yes. I see you're not with them anymore, right? No. And it's the best thing I've ever done in my life. Do you mind if we ask you a few questions? Oh, yes, of course. Ask anything you want, brother. Detective. Harvey, don't worry. Why did you leave the Walkers of the New Kingdom? Things got pretty weird over there. Brother Roy took control when the Grand Master died, and everything changed dramatically. Brother Roy always craved power. It was only a matter of time before he took it. What changed in the cult? Brother Roy ruled with an iron fist, rewrote the rules, and imposed punishments. Everything became even more unacceptable when that woman appeared. A woman? Mary Warren, right? That's what she called herself. She brought blasphemy with her. Brother Roy welcomed her among us and took advantage of her. I don't know how to say this. Her magic abilities. But that wasn't the worst of it. Roy and Mary Warren found something in the woods. Something powerful. Something powerful? What do you mean? I didn't get to see it. But I could feel it, though. We all did. It was as if a door to hell had opened and something had escaped. I fled that night, and I haven't heard a thing about that place since. Where can we find the Walkers of the New Kingdom? We settled in the forest southwest of the city. Where exactly? Do you intend to go there? Yes. Brother Roy severely restricted access to that place. Now it's a fairly closed community. Though it'd help if you went by the monolith first. The monolith? Brother Roy had a monolith erected at the entrance to the forest. The cult continues to recruit members in the city. Those who have been invited to join must light a fire on top of the monolith. The community will know that there are some trusted future members there and will send a couple of brothers to guide them to the place. A sort of secret key. You could call it that. That monolith you mentioned is at the forest entrance, right? You have to go in a bit. It's by a small waterfall. Follow the sound of the water. You can't miss it. Okie doke. Thanks for the information, Lawrence. What are those leaflets? When I left the Walkers of the New Kingdom, I felt lost. I thought my life had no purpose or meaning. But Father Iwanicki from St. Stanislaus Church showed me the light. Again, I feel like I've read that somewhere. Thanks to his prayers, Jesus forgave my past, which was far from his love and compassion. In gratitude, I testify to the benefits of joining his parish to those who need the glory of Jesus. Hey, buddy. Not to pry, but you were in a cult, run by a nutcase. And now you've embraced Jesus preaching in the streets. Why don't you take a break? We all need guidance in this vale of tears. Are you a believer? Yeah. Then you'll reaffirm your faith if you read one of these leaflets written by Father Iwanicki. No thanks, I'm not much of a reader. I insist. And I insist. Take it, Jack. Butt out! Alright. Good, I've got fire starting material. I'm glad you were able to leave that cult, Lawrence. I should never have joined them. And lucky that Jesus has forgiven me for such a bad choice. Yeah, take care. The flyer, made of sturdy cardboard, urges attendance at Father Iwanicki's St. Stanislaus Church. Why do I feel like we need to remember that it's made of sturdy cardboard? Sorry, buddy, we can't haul him away. Something bad'll happen, why? He gets on my nerves. We're sleeping on the street. No job, no money, and all this guy talks about is hugging Jesus. That's not what we want to hear right now, you know? I may have been drinking a little bit. I swear by Jesus Christ himself, you don't take him away from here, I'll stab him in the neck with my punch. Do you have that punch here? Yeah, it's the only thing I have left from my old job before I was fired from Brass and Harper Leatherworks. Sorry, but we have to confiscate it. What? The hell you are? It's mine. You heard my partner. Give us the punch. Why? You've expressed a desire to commit murder. But I haven't. You confessed your intention. But Look, buddy, don't push our buttons. Give us the punch. Damn it. Well, we got a pokey thing. Relax, will you? If that guy bothers you, get out of here or put some earplugs in. You know the First Amendment? Freedom of religion, speech, and all that? Actually, why does he bother you? Comes here every day yapping about salvation and whatnot. He wants to turn us into Father Iwanicki's parishioners. And that's bad? Yeah, when you gotta hear him screech every damn day. Okay. Just wanted to get all the frickin' whatchamacallits dialogue options taken care of. Sharp pointed punch about 1/6 of an inch thick. Can we punch a hole in this? Nope, okay. Not for no reason anyway. Okay, so there's the entrance to that. Let's check on Keziah Mason's house. Suddenly it's windy. I'm too old to climb it, and Harvey's too by the book to do so. I didn't say climb it, I just said look at it. Peek in the window. Glass is too dirty to see through. And I don't have anything I can wipe it with. Rooms for rent. No prostitution accepted. A decent house. Can't look at the plant. Let's try and go on in. Ah, hi there. Yes? Evening, ma'am. Detectives Foster and Whitman. I'm Foster. And you must be Whitman. You're here about the babies. Babies? We've got a few questions. This is the house Keziah Mason lived in, right? Yes, but that was a long time ago. Why do I think you're her? We need to ask you about Walter Gilman. Ah, yes, the student. I already told his classmates everything I knew. We understand he was in Keziah Mason's old room when he vanished. Yes, the attic. I don't rent it out much. Too many rats. I can't afford an exterminator. That's why it's so cheap and only students or underpaid stiffs bite. What did you mean, babies? Newborns have been disappearing in this area for months. They're being snatched from their cribs. There are a lot of undesirables in this neighborhood. Must be the Poles, Italians, or Spaniards. Americans don't usually do those things. Have you seen her? Huh? The witch, Keziah Mason. Are you kidding? There's no such thing as witches. You're her, aren't you? Mind if we see the attic? I don't have the key. The current tenant's got it, but he's not here right now. You're the landlady. Don't you keep a spare for emergencies? I had one, but one of the 2 keys disappeared with the student. I could make a copy, but that Polak is asking a lot of money for it. There are people like him taking advantage of others in this damn crisis. Do you know whose fault the crisis is? All of them. If they hadn't let everyone into this country, we'd be swimming in abundance. We have to inspect the attic, ma'am. And what do you want me to do? I told you the current tenant has the key. What now?
Kick the door in?
I mean, he's done it twice so far. I wouldn't put it past him.
Well, and who's going to pay for the door? The police? I hear the Arkham PD owes its officers several paychecks. They can't pay you, but they're going to pay for my door? Forget it.
All right, fine. Where can we find the tenant of the attic?
He works at a gas station by the cemetery. I think it's a Silver Star station. A couple of weeks ago he asked for the night shift. Seems the rats keep him up. Not my fault. I warned him about it.
What's his name?
Stuart Davis.
All right. Off to the gas station, then. We may have more questions later.
I'm not going anywhere.
For a moment, I thought Keziah Mason herself had opened the door for us. She might still have.
You shouldn't make fun of people's physical appearance.
All right. Silver Star gas station. Just trying to see if the lit letters said anything like an Easter egg or something. Can we take the gas can? Yes, we can. Cool. Does it have anything in it? Oh, what do we need an old gas can for? Same reason we wanted that campaign umbrella or that stinking tin can.
Touché.
Can contains a remnant of gasoline, not enough to start a car engine. A bucket. It's overflowing with motor oil and water. Can't take it, though.
Gasoline keeps going up.
What isn't? It's closed. We'll open it. All right, fine. I guess let's go in and talk to who I'm assuming is Stuart. Detectives Foster and Whitman, Arkham PD. Are you Stuart Davis? Yes. And you live in the attic at 100 High Street? Did I do something wrong?
We have no record of you doing anything illegal. Rest easy.
Oh, thank God. I thought it was about... how can I help you? About what? Never mind, I came to the attic. I thought it was about what? Come on, don't clam up now. If you'd be so kind as to lend your key to us. You're gonna search the place?
It's not a search.
I mean, it kinda is.
That attic's connected to a case we're working. It has nothing to do with you.
But you're going now? I mean, at this time of night? If I were you, I wouldn't...
Are you worried we'll run into Keziah Mason?
Who?
The witch.
Is that her name?
We know about it.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought I was going crazy. What can you tell us about Keziah Mason? She's an old woman. Very wrinkled and very sinister. She's not missing one eye, is she? I'm scared just thinking about her. And she shows up every night. Every single night. It's like she knows I'm in the room. She comes through the wall. She goes right through it. First I thought I was hallucinating. I thought I'd overdone it with the reefer. Oh shit, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, so that's what you were worried about. Go on. She yanks me out of bed and drags me along. Are you gonna do something about it? I don't want to go through that nightmare again. Where does she take you? I have no idea. All I know is that place doesn't belong in this world. Worst part is you can hear babies crying. It's a place of madness.
What's Keziah Mason want from you?
I don't know. All I know is the next time she takes me to that place, I won't be coming back.
Babies crying?
Newborns have been disappearing around the neighborhood for a while now. I haven't seen them in that hellhole, but I hear that whenever that witch drags me there, I know she's the one behind all those kidnappings. You gotta do something. Why do you still live there? Wouldn't it be better to leave and go somewhere safer? Why do I still live there? Because I can't afford anything else. This job pays peanuts. Where can I go? I noticed that the witch doesn't show up during the day, so I asked for the night shift. I sleep during daytime there. For the time being, I'm safe at those hours. The key, please. Oh, right. Here you go. We'll leave the key with the landlady when we're done. Get rid of that damn witch. You're cops, aren't you? Finish her off.
Okay, then. Ah, you again.
We've got the attic key. Mr. Davis lent it to us.
Do we have your say-so to go up? Now that you have the key, yes, of course. Tell me, what's your interest in the attic?
Police business, ma'am.
Police business, huh? Do what you have to do. But try not to disturb the other tenants.
God damn, it's dark in here. Hold on, Harvey. Can't see a damn thing. Where's the switch? Not much better. It's freezing in here. I feel more than just cold, Jack. Me too. Let's take a look. Well, there's the remnants of the portal. I'll save that for last. The landlady ought to send someone to fix this door. She also said there was a rat problem. If she hasn't fixed that, I doubt she'll send someone to fix the closet door. Okay, meanwhile, can we look in it? Nope, apparently not. Table? More like a desk. This jar contains marijuana. I think Davis has gotten himself into serious trouble. We should report it. What's wrong with you, Harvey? Did you see how broken that guy was? A witch drags him out of bed every night, and you still want to get him in more trouble?
It's still drug possession. It's a felony.
Lay off Davis, will you? He's got enough on his plate. Besides, we can take some for ourselves. We're wound tight. Maybe a little puff would take the edge off.
I hope you're not serious.
Of the two that I thought would be more straight-laced and by the book, it wasn't him. I was hoping we could look in some of the drawers, but apparently not. Davis said he slept during the day. He probably has it so he can get the hell out of here before nightfall. I wonder if Keziah Mason only appears when you're asleep. Well, let's check the portal. It looks a lot like the one in the photograph. It's pretty much the same.
Jack.
Why did we need to come over here to talk?
Mr. Davis said Keziah Mason knew when she could find him in the room.
As if she could detect him, yeah.
I suppose the witch must be aware we're here. I think it won't be long before she shows up.
In that case, we'll surprise her. Harvey, draw. Watch out. I have a feeling she's coming. On 3, Harvey. 1, 2. Well, that's... What just happened? Oh, okay. Nothing. Nothing apparently happened. I'm bored. How many hours have we been here? Half an hour. It feels like an eternity to me. By the way, I've been thinking, and can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
I noticed your expression when Davis or the old lady downstairs mentioned the kidnapping of newborns. Tonight I asked if you were married, and if you had children. In both cases you dodged the question. I've been a detective for half my life, and I know when someone has a story to tell. So what's your story, Harvey?
I don't...
Hey, you don't have to tell me anything. I was just thinking about it. You know me. I talk too much.
Before I was a cop, I was just a psychiatrist. I met Teresa. A strong woman. Grit and fire, but very cheerful. She was everything I wasn't. I don't know what she saw in me.
I've always been a gray man. No, you're not. You're redheaded.
I blend into the crowd, and I'm not the kind of person you'd invite to a party. You know that, too.
We've only been partners for a few hours, but you've shown me you're a good man.
I appreciate it, Jack.
Listen, you don't have to go through with this if you don't want to.
You're a good partner, Jack. It's an honor to have you as one. I think you deserve to hear it. The time I spent with Teresa was the best of my life. Until we decided to have a child. During the pregnancy, Teresa changed. Her attitude began to take on a negative tone. She asked questions neither of us could answer. She questioned her life, her existence, her role in the world.
Why do I not like where this is going?
That ended up distancing us, even though we lived under the same roof. I tried to help her, no longer as a husband,
but she turned down every bit of it. However, she did listen to any guru or quack she came across. When our little Joey was born, she met some guys. A cult. She was very secretive about them. All I could find out was that they called themselves the Guardians of Deep Truth. Teresa talked about the Great Day, the time when she'd become part of the community in her own right. The Great Day consisted of a blood sacrifice, Jack. That of our little Joey. Oh, God. That's terrible. I never saw her again. That is not where I was expecting this to go. I was expecting one of them to die, but it wasn't Jack or Joey. I was thinking, he was going to say Teresa decided to self-delete. Harvey, that day I swore, the bloody corpse of my son in my arms, that I wouldn't stop until I found her and her damned cult. I tried to track them down, but they vanished from the face of the earth. I specialized in cults and joined the police force so I could have more resources for my investigations. Last year, a lead suggested the Guardians of Deep Truth had ended up in Arkham. That's why I requested a transfer here. I spent many years tracking them down, and I suppose there's still a long way to go before I can put those guys behind bars. I just want to have Teresa in front of me before she rots in a cell and ask her if everything she did was worth it. That's all, Jack. That's all. You know what, Harvey? When we're done with this case, I'll help you find those sons of bitches. You said they might be in Arkham, right? I think you could use a helping hand to... Oh, hello. Sup? Who are you? Where's Stuart Davis? Keziah Mason, I presume. Silence! Get out of here. This is none of your business. Shit, she's getting away. Come on, Harvey. Jack! We don't know if... Damn it. Whoa! No! My God. Where the hell are we?